Ladies and gentlemen, there comes a time in your life when you have to make a decision to put yourself first. Not because you don't care about others, but because you finally understand that you are the foundation of everything in your life. And if that foundation is weak, everything else crumbles. You have spent too much time worrying about what others think, seeking validation from people who don't even know who they are. You've exhausted yourself trying to meet expectations that were never yours to begin with. But today, right now, I want you to shift. Shift your focus inward. Because the moment you do that, everything changes. See, we live in a world that thrives on distraction, social media, opinions, trends. It's all noise. And if you're not careful, you'll wake up one day realizing that you spent your whole life chasing things that had nothing to do with you. That's why you must silence the noise and get clear on who you are and what you want. Understand this, not everyone deserves your time, your energy, or your presence. You are not an unlimited resource. Protect yourself. Learn to say no without guilt. Learn to step away without explanation. Because the truth is, people will drain you if you let them. Your growth is your responsibility. Nobody is coming to do it for you. Nobody's going to hand you the life you dream of. That's on you. And every single day you have a choice to focus on distractions or to focus on you. And I promise you, the moment you start choosing yourself, you will start seeing changes. Stop comparing yourself to others. Their journey is not yours. Their success is not your timeline. Stay in your lane. Run your own race. Because what's meant for you will always find you if you are doing the work. And I know life gets tough. I know pain can feel unbearable at times. But listen to me. Your pain has a purpose. Use it. Let it build you. Let it push you forward instead of holding you back. Because every challenge, every setback, every heartbreak is an opportunity to rise. Success is not built on luck. It's built on discipline, on showing up for yourself day after day when no one is watching, when no one is clapping, on being relentless in the pursuit of your goals. And above all, happiness starts with you. Not with a relationship, not with money, not with achievements, with you. The moment you stop expecting others to make you happy, you take back your power. So today I challenge you. Focus only on yourself, not in selfishness, but in self-mastery. Become obsessed with your growth, because the best version of you is still waiting to be discovered. And trust me, when you meet that version, you'll understand why focusing on yourself was the best decision you ever made. Every single day you wake up with a choice. Invest in yourself or neglect yourself. And the truth is, no one else can make that decision for you. You are your greatest investment, and the way you treat yourself determines the life you create. Think about it. People invest in stocks, real estate, businesses, and material things, hoping for a return. But what about you? What about your mind, your health, your skills, your personal growth? If you don't invest in yourself, everything else loses its value. Money can come and go, relationships can change, opportunities can shift, but who you become will stay with you forever. Growth doesn't happen by accident. You can't just wake up one day and expect to be wiser, stronger, or more successful. It takes daily effort. It takes discipline. It takes the willingness to step outside your comfort zone and push yourself beyond what feels easy. Every book you read, every challenge you overcome, every new skill you learn, that is an investment in your future. People often wait for someone to believe in them before they believe in themselves. But the reality is, no one is coming to save you. No one is going to hand you the life you dream of. You have to build it. And that starts with how much you're willing to pour into yourself, your knowledge, your health, your mindset, your vision. You are not here just to exist. You are here to evolve. That means prioritizing your personal growth, even when it's uncomfortable. That means making time for your mental, emotional, and physical well-being, even when life gets busy. That means surrounding yourself with people who challenge you to be better, not those who keep you stuck. And let's talk about mindset, because if your mind isn't growing, your life isn't either. If you're still thinking the same way you did last year, you're not investing enough in your own evolution. Elevating your mindset is one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself. It shifts your perspective, your decisions, and ultimately your results. When you start prioritizing yourself, some people won't understand. They may call you selfish. They may try to guilt trip you into staying the same. But listen closely. Investing in yourself is not selfish. It's necessary, because when you grow, you inspire others to do the same. When you become the best version of yourself, you have more to give to the world. So stop waiting, stop hesitating, stop putting yourself last. You are the one thing in your life that will always be worth the investment. And when you commit to that truth, nothing can stop you from becoming everything you were meant to be. Too many people spend their lives waiting for approval, waiting for someone to tell them they are good enough, smart enough, worthy enough. But the truth is, the moment you start seeking validation from others, you give them control over your life. You allow their opinions to shape your decisions, their judgments to limit your potential, and their expectations to define your worth. But here's what you need to understand. No one can validate you but you. No one else truly knows your journey, your struggles, or the fire inside you. So why let their words determine your destiny? Seeking validation is a trap. It keeps you playing small, afraid to take risks, afraid to step into your power because you're worried about how others will perceive you. The reality is people will always have something to say. No matter what you do, someone will criticize, someone will doubt, someone will try to make you question yourself. But that has nothing to do with you. It's a reflection of their own fears, their own limitations, their own insecurities. The moment you realize that, you become free. You have to stop waiting for permission to be great. Stop waiting for someone to tell you it's okay to follow your dreams. Stop waiting for applause before you take action, because if you live for validation, you will die without ever having truly lived. The most powerful thing you can do is trust yourself, trust your instincts, trust your vision, trust that you are enough just as you are. When you stop seeking approval, you start living for yourself. You make decisions based on what fulfills you, not what pleases others. And that's when real confidence is built, not from the outside in, but from the inside out. The truth is, you don't need anyone's validation to chase your dreams, to become successful, to be happy. Everything you need is already within you. The only approval that truly matters is the one you give yourself. The day you embrace that is the day you become unstoppable. The world is loud. Everywhere you turn, there's a voice telling you who to be, what to do, how to think. Social media floods your mind with comparisons. Opinions from family and friends pull you in different directions. Society sets expectations that have nothing to do with your true purpose. If you're not careful, you'll spend your entire life listening to the noise instead of listening to yourself. But here's the truth. Real clarity, real growth, real success come when you learn to silence the noise. You cannot hear your own voice when you are constantly tuned in to the voices of others. You cannot build your own path if you are too busy following a path that was never meant for you. Distractions will always be there, but your focus is your responsibility. Silencing the noise means stepping away from anything that clouds your vision. It means creating space for stillness, for reflection, for deep inner work. It means learning to separate what truly matters from what is just background chatter. And sometimes that means distancing yourself from people who do nothing but add chaos to your life. Not everyone deserves access to your mind, your energy, or your journey. The world will always have opinions. There will always be critics, doubters, and distractions trying to pull you away from your purpose. But none of that matters if you are locked in on your own mission. When you stop feeding into every conversation, every trend, every external expectation, you gain something powerful: control over your own mind. The greatest breakthroughs happen in moments of silence. When you shut out the noise, you hear your own thoughts more clearly. You recognize what you truly want, not what the world tells you to want. You start making decisions from a place of wisdom, not from pressure or fear. The people who achieve the greatest success, the deepest peace, and the most fulfillment are the ones who know how to tune out the unnecessary and focus on what truly matters. Because at the end of the day, the only voice that can truly guide you is your own. Your energy is one of the most valuable things you have. It fuels your mind, your emotions, your actions, and ultimately your life. But if you're not careful, it can be drained by the wrong people, the wrong environments, and the wrong habits. Protecting your energy is not just about avoiding negativity. It's about intentionally creating space for peace, focus, and growth. There are people who will come into your life only to taking your time, your emotional strength, your mental clarity. Some do it knowingly, others without realizing it, but the result is the same. You feel exhausted, overwhelmed, and disconnected from yourself. You must recognize when someone is draining you and have the courage to set boundaries. Not everyone deserves access to your mind and emotions. Negativity is contagious. When you constantly expose yourself to people who complain, criticize, and spread doubt, their energy becomes your energy. Protecting yourself means choosing who you allow into your space. Surround yourself with people who uplift, challenge, and inspire you. Be intentional about the conversations you engage in and the environments you place yourself in. It's not just people, it's habits, distractions, and even your own thoughts that can drain your energy. Overcommitting to things that don't serve you, staying in toxic situations out of fear, constantly doubting yourself, these are all ways you unconsciously allow your energy to be depleted. Protecting yourself means being aware of what you give your attention to. If it doesn't bring growth, peace, or purpose, it's not worth your energy. Learning to say no is one of the most powerful ways to guard your energy. Every time you say yes to something that doesn't align with your priorities, you are saying no to yourself. And you cannot pour into others if you are running on empty. Taking time to rest, recharge, and refocus is not selfish, it's necessary. Your energy is sacred. It determines your ability to think clearly, to create, to love, to heal, to succeed. If you let the wrong things drain it, you will never have enough left for the things that truly matter. But when you learn to protect it, you will move through life with clarity, strength, and purpose. No one is coming to push you forward. No one is going to hand you the life you dream of. Your growth, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and financially, is your responsibility. It's not up to your family, your friends, or society to shape you into the person you're meant to be. That power is in your hands, and the sooner you accept it, the sooner you can take control of your life. Growth doesn't happen by accident. You don't just wake up one day stronger, wiser, or more successful. It takes effort. It takes intentional choices, discipline, and the willingness to step into discomfort. Growth requires you to challenge yourself, to break old habits, to confront your fears, and to let go of excuses. You can't keep waiting for the right time, the right circumstances, or the right people to push you. The moment you decide to take responsibility for your own development is the moment everything changes. Blaming others for where you are will never move you forward. Yes, life may have been unfair. Yes, people may have let you down. Yes, challenges may have made things difficult, but none of that changes the fact that your future is still in your hands. Growth is about ownership. It's about looking at your life, acknowledging where you are, and deciding that you will do what it takes to become better. It's easy to stay comfortable, to avoid the hard work, to settle for what's familiar, but nothing great ever comes from staying the same. You have to be willing to push beyond your limits, to learn new things, to fail and get back up. The most successful people in the world didn't wait for someone else to make them great. They took responsibility for their own development, and they put in the work every single day. Your mindset, your habits, your environment, these are all things you have control over. What you feed your mind matters. Who you surround yourself with matters. How you spend your time matters. Every choice you make is either pushing you forward or holding you back. And at the end of the day, no one can make those choices for you. You have everything within you to grow into the person you are meant to be, but it starts with a decision to stop making excuses, a decision to take ownership of your future, a decision to commit to your personal evolution no matter how hard it gets, because when you take full responsibility for your growth, nothing and no one can stop you. Saying no is one of the most powerful skills you can develop. It is the key to protecting your time, your energy, and your peace. Yet so many people struggle with it because they fear disappointing others, being judged, or missing out. But the truth is, Every time you say yes to something that doesn't serve you, you are saying no to yourself. You are not obligated to meet everyone's expectations. You do not have to agree to every request, attend to every event, or take on responsibilities that drain you. Your time and energy are limited, and if you don't guard them, others will take them without a second thought. Learning to say no is not about being rude or selfish. It's about recognizing that your needs, your goals, and your well-being matter. Too often, people say yes out of guilt or obligation. They agree to things they don't want to do just to keep the peace or avoid conflict. But the cost of constantly pleasing others is high. You end up overworked, overwhelmed, and resentful. The more you stretch yourself thin, the less you have left for the things that truly matter. The people who respect you will understand when you set boundaries. And the ones who don't, they were never for you in the first place. There is power in standing firm and choosing yourself. You don't need to explain or justify why you are saying no. A simple "I can't" or "that doesn't work for me" is enough. You do not owe anyone a long-winded excuse. Your life is yours to manage, and every commitment you make should align with your priorities, not someone else's. Saying no also means letting go of things that no longer serve you. That includes unhealthy relationships, draining conversations, and habits that keep you stuck. It means recognizing when something is not adding value to your life and having the courage to walk away. It is not your job to carry the weight of others at the expense of your own growth. The ability to say no is a form of self-respect. It shows that you value yourself enough to put your needs first. It allows you to create space for what truly aligns with your purpose. The more you practice it, the stronger you become. And when you master it, you take back control of your life on your terms without apology. There is a unique path designed just for you, and the moment you start looking at someone else's lane, you lose focus on your own. Too many people waste their energy comparing, competing, and trying to keep up with others, forgetting that real success comes from staying true to their own journey. You are not here to be like anyone else. You are here to be the best version of yourself. When you constantly watch what others are doing, you become distracted. You start questioning your progress, doubting your abilities, and feeling like you're behind. But the truth is, no one has the same starting point, the same challenges, or the same purpose as you. What works for someone else may not work for you. Their timeline is not your timeline. Their path is not your path. The more time you spend watching others, the less time you spend working on yourself. Staying in your lane means knowing who you are and owning it. It means trusting your process, even when it seems like others are moving faster. It means focusing on your own goals, your own growth, and your own definition of success. The moment you stop chasing what everyone else is doing, you free yourself to build a life that is truly meant for you. You will always see people who appear to have more success, more money, more opportunities, but you don't see the full picture. You don't see their struggles, their sacrifices, or their setbacks. That's why comparison is a trap. It makes you feel inadequate based on an illusion. The only person you need to compete with is who you were yesterday. Distractions will always be there, but discipline is what keeps you focused. When you stay in your lane, you don't waste time proving yourself to others. You don't get caught up in unnecessary drama. You don't let external pressures dictate your choices. You move with purpose, knowing that everything meant for you will come in its own time. Success is not about speed, it's about direction. Doesn't matter how fast someone else is moving if they're not headed where you want to go. Stay patient, stay committed, keep building. The moment you stop looking sideways and start focusing forward, you'll realize that everything you've been working for is already within your reach. Pain is one of life's greatest teachers. It breaks you, tests you, and pushes you to your limits, but it also has the power to transform you, to build your strength, to shape you into someone unstoppable. The difference between those who stay stuck in their pain and those who rise from it is one simple decision: to use it as fuel instead of allowing it to destroy them. Every challenge, every heartbreak, every disappointment you've faced holds a lesson. Pain is not meant to weaken you. It is meant to refine you. It strips away the illusions, reveals who you truly are, and forces you to grow. But you have to make the choice. You can sit in your suffering, replaying the hurt over and over, or you can take that same energy and turn it into something greater. Some of the most powerful people in the world didn't succeed because life was easy for them. They succeeded because they took their struggles and turned them into motivation. They refused to let their past define them. They refused to let their failures stop them. They learned how to take every setback and use it to push them forward. That same power exists within you. Pain can be a prison or a platform. It can keep you stuck in bitterness, anger, and regret, or it can push you into a new level of strength, wisdom, and resilience. The most painful moments in your life are often the ones that lead you to your greatest breakthroughs, but only if you are willing to shift your perspective. Instead of asking, why did this happen to me? Ask, what can I learn from this? Instead of dwelling on the hurt, use it as a reminder of how strong you are. You cannot avoid pain, but you can control how you respond to it. You can choose to let it break you, or you can choose to let it build you. Every time you rise after a setback, every time you keep going when it feels impossible, you are turning pain into power. And when you do that, nothing, absolutely nothing, can stop you from becoming everything you were meant to be. Success is not built overnight. It doesn't come from a single lucky break or one big moment. It comes from the small, consistent actions you take every single day. Discipline is the foundation of success. It is what separates those who dream from those who achieve. You cannot wait for motivation to carry you because motivation fades. Discipline is what keeps you moving forward when you don't feel like it. Every successful person you admire has mastered the art of discipline. They didn't wake up one day at the top. They committed to showing up daily even when no one was watching. They trained when they were tired. They worked when they didn't feel inspired. They pushed through self-doubt and setbacks because they understood that success is a result of habits, not wishes. Your daily habits determine your future. The small choices you make, how you spend your time, what you focus on, what you prioritize, are shaping your life. If you want success, you have to create routines that align with your goals. Waking up early, setting clear intentions, practicing consistency in your work, and eliminating distractions. These are not just good habits. They are the key to long-term achievement. Discipline is about sacrifice. It means giving up short-term comfort for long-term rewards. It means saying no to distractions, laziness, and excuses. It means doing what needs to be done even when you don't feel like it. The difference between successful people and those who stay stuck is not talent. It's the willingness to stay committed even when the results are not immediate. There will be days when you don't see progress. There will be moments when it feels like nothing is working. But success is about trust, trusting the process, trusting your work, and trusting yourself. Every small step, every disciplined action, every moment of effort is compounding, building towards something greater. You don't need to be the smartest, the fastest, or the most talented. You just need to be the most consistent. If you show up every day, if you put in the work, if you commit to disciplined action, success is inevitable. Because success is not about what you do once, it's about what you do daily. Happiness is not something you find, it is something you create. Too often, people spend their lives waiting for the right relationship, the right job, the right circumstances to finally be happy. But happiness is not something that comes from the outside. It starts within you. You owe it to yourself to stop looking for it in other people, in material things, in external validation. You owe yourself the kind of happiness that is not dependent on anything or anyone. No one else is responsible for your joy. It is not your partner's job, your family's job, or the world's job to make you happy. The moment you place your happiness in someone else's hands, you give them control over your peace. And that is why so many people feel empty, because they are waiting for something outside of them to fill a space that only they can fill. True happiness comes from living in alignment with who you really are. It comes from knowing yourself, loving yourself, and making choices that honor your well-being. It is about setting boundaries, walking away from what no longer serves you, and embracing the things that bring you peace. It is about learning to be happy with yourself first, so that anything else is just an addition, not the source. Life is too short to live in misery, to settle for less, to let negativity consume you. You owe yourself a life that feels good on the inside, not just one that looks good on the outside. You deserve to laugh, to feel light, to wake up excited about your days. And if that means changing your environment, letting go of toxic people, or shifting your mindset, then you must be willing to do it. Happiness is a choice. Every single day you have the power to choose thoughts, actions, and habits that bring you joy. It won't always be easy. There will be challenges, disappointments, and days when life feels heavy. But even in those moments, you can still choose gratitude, perspective, and self-love. Stop waiting. Stop hoping that happiness will come later. You owe it to yourself to create it now, in this moment, with what you have. Because when you take ownership of your happiness, no one can take it away from you. The moment you start living for the opinions of others, you lose yourself. Too many people spend their lives trying to be liked, trying to fit in, trying to meet expectations that were never theirs to begin with. But no matter what you do, someone will always have something to say. If you let their opinions control you, you will never truly be free. You cannot build a life that is authentic if you are constantly seeking approval. Other people's thoughts about you are none of your business. What they think does not define you. Their judgments are based on their own experiences, insecurities, and limitations, not your truth. The sooner you understand this, the sooner you can break free from the need to please everyone. Detaching from opinions does not mean you stop listening to wisdom or feedback. It means you stop allowing criticism, doubt, or negativity to dictate your choices. It means standing firm in who you are, even when others don't understand or agree. When you know your purpose, when you trust your path, you no longer need validation to move forward. The people who criticize the most are often the ones who are afraid to take risks themselves. They project their fears onto you, telling you what you can and cannot do because they have never done it themselves. But their fears are not yours to carry. Their doubts are not your reality. If you let every opinion affect you, you will always be adjusting, always second-guessing, always holding back. And for what? To gain approval from people who will forget about you tomorrow, to meet expectations that will never truly satisfy them. That is no way to live. You were not born to fit into a mold that others created for you. You were born to stand in your truth, unapologetically. Let go of the need to be understood. Let go of the fear of judgment. The more you detach from opinions, the more peace you will have. The more you trust yourself, the more confident you will become. And when you finally stop seeking approval, you will realize that the only validation you ever needed was your own. Your growth is your responsibility, and nothing should matter more than becoming the best version of yourself. Too many people stay stuck in the same place year after year because they are comfortable, afraid, or distracted by things that don't add value to their lives. But growth doesn't happen by accident. It happens when you make it your top priority, when you become obsessed with leveling up, learning, evolving, and pushing yourself beyond your limits. Every day is an opportunity to grow. It's a chance to develop new skills, sharpen your mindset, and expand your vision. Growth requires hunger. The kind of hunger that makes you wake up every morning ready to work on yourself. It means reading, listening, learning, and surrounding yourself with people who challenge you. It means asking yourself, how can I be better than I was yesterday? And then taking action. Growth is uncomfortable because it forces you to face your weaknesses. It challenges you to let go of bad habits, step into the unknown, and embrace change. But comfort is the enemy of progress. If you are too comfortable, you are not growing. Growth requires you to push past resistance, to do things even when you don't feel like it, and to stay committed even when progress seems slow. Becoming obsessed with your growth means cutting out distractions. It means saying no to negativity, to toxic people, and to anything that doesn't align with your vision. It means protecting your time, energy, and focus because you understand that every minute wasted is a minute you could have spent improving yourself. People may not understand your obsession. They may call you too serious, too focused, too intense. But the ones who succeed are the ones who refuse to settle. They are the ones who don't need permission to chase their potential. When you become obsessed with your growth, you stop waiting for motivation and start relying on discipline. You stop making excuses and start making progress. This is your life. You either grow or you remain the same. You either push yourself forward or you let life push you around. Decide today that your growth is non-negotiable. Commit to becoming better, stronger, and wiser every single day, because the more you grow, the more unstoppable you become. Your life is in your hands. No one else is responsible for your happiness, your success, or your growth. It all comes down to you. When you stop seeking validation, detach from opinions, and focus solely on your own journey, you unlock a level of freedom and power that most people never experience. Growth is not something that happens by chance. It is a daily commitment, a relentless pursuit, an obsession with becoming better than you were yesterday. You owe it to yourself to silence the noise, protect your energy, and stay in your lane. You owe it to yourself to turn pain into power, to develop the discipline that leads to success, and to build a life that is truly your own. It won't always be easy, and there will be moments of doubt, but if you stay committed, if you stay focused, nothing can stop you. This is your time. This is your journey. No more waiting, no more excuses. Become obsessed with your growth, invest in yourself, and take control of your destiny, because once you do that, you will realize that everything you've ever wanted was within you all along. Thank you, everyone.